Hey everyone, Stephanie, coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things. And today I have a book review for you. But get out. This is like my third, fourth cup of coffee. I don't know. Well, look, I decorated for Christmas, and I got the little cups out, and I learned very fast that you have to let your coffee cool down before you can touch it when it's in this cup because it's hot. It's really hot. Now that my coffee is lukewarm, it's still pretty good. It needs a little, I think a little more something. I'm not sure. It is Christmas Kiss from anyway, you're not here for my coffee. You're here for the reading challenge. I finished The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore, and let's just say now I'm in a wait list for the next book from the library. This is my book. This book was it was a fun time. So while reading this book, um, you look in the front. I know I haven't gotten to it yet. You look in the front. First, this book has a map of Dream Harbor, and that is where we are. And it's perfect. I loved it. I loved that it had a map. Um, and then and then while you're physically reading, you can be listening to the playlist that's made. And I was like, there's no way. So I went to Spotify and I just put in the Pumpkin Spice Cafe on in Spotify, and this playlist pulled up. And I was like, I do have to warn you that some of the songs are not appropriate for little kids. And one song came on and it was talking about things. And I was like, oh, and I got it shut off. And my kid goes, oh, I love that song. I was like, oh, okay. Um, Also, because I sometimes listen to my books also, tired. Um, it's late. It's like 6 o'clock right now. It's been a week, guys. So sometimes I listen to this book and sometimes I read this book. And there's also a coloring book to go with it. I was so excited. And now I need to know if the other books have coloring books too. Gonna have to look. So I didn't do much coloring. I actually physically read this book. But look at that. I started coloring and I used colored pencils and gel pens. But it's related, like it has phrases from the book, pictures that would correspond with the book, and it just made me happy. Um, Let me get to my review. Okay. I mean, obviously, I think you know what my review is. First, we read right away. I'll read you the little synopsis summary on the back, and then I'll read you what I wrote in my little book lover's journal over here. And then we'll move on with life. Okay? So, for some reason, my recording using my mic whenever I make a video gets a little spotty sometimes, so I'm doing this little voiceover of summary for you. A small town spicy romance. When Jeannie's aunt gifts her the beloved Pumpkin Spice Cafe in a small town of Dream Harbor, Jeannie jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from the very dull desk job. Logan, a local farmer who avoids Dream Harbor's gossip at all costs, but Jeannie's arrival disturbs Logan's routine, and he wants nothing to do with the irritatingly upbeat new girl except that he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her. Will Jeannie's happy-go-lucky attitude win over the grumpy but gorgeous Logan? Or has this city girl found the one person in town who won't fall for her charms or her pumpkin spice lattes? Okay. Okay? Okay. Now we move on to my book lover's journal. I really am going to have to get a new one for next year. Anyway, let's see if I can find my. There it is. I found it. I wrote a lot. I scratched out some because I was a little messy writing. Title: Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Book 1. Author: Laurie Gilmore. Genre: contemporary romance. Publisher: HarperCollins. Number of pages is, well, mine was 355 pages, and the list was 703. Listening. Guys, I just said it was 700 minutes. Okay. You're gonna listen to it 7 hours and long. I started this on October 24th, 2025, and I finished this book October 31st, I believe. I didn't write that down. I know I finished it because I started writing it, and then I guess I got distracted and I never came back. It says 10. It was like the day before Halloween, day of Halloween. I don't remember for sure. There was a lot going on that week, and I was whenever I could. Why did I choose this book? It looked and sounded great for fall, and it was on my 2025 reading challenge. I gave this book 4 books. 4 books. I know that Audible had it at a 3.9. I didn't ever look it up on Goodreads. That's my bad. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. Other books by this author, the whole Harper series. So book 2 is the one that I'm on the wait list for library. It's called Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. The third one is Christmas Farm. The fourth one is Strawberry Patch Pancake House. The fifth one is Gingerbread Bakery, and the sixth one is called Daisy Flower Shop, and that one comes out in May 5th, 6th. So maybe by then I'll be on that book. Okay. My review. This book was so cute. Even spicy scenes, I'd read it again. It starts with Jean's noises from her upstairs apartment of her cafe that her aunt just gave her. She almost takes a bat to the produce delivery guy. He gets roped into helping her find out what's making the noise in the alley. Oh, so cute. They found the ghost. I see why everyone says that this book is like Gilmore Girls. They aren't very good at being. Who's the person trying to scare her away? I need to know. Why does Jean feel like she has to be a new person? Is it just because she's in town? Logan needs to listen to everyone and stop living in the past. They have some really great friends in this nosy little town. That's what I wrote. Um, that's what I wrote. So I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this book more than I thought I would. Okay, so also I have to say they're like in their 30s. Let me back up. I almost did because I have been hurt with the books before. Uh I like my Poppy McAllister series that I fallen down. So like I read the Poppy McAllister series. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Those are really good. I love those. But then I read, oh, what was the other one? With Cutie Pies and Deadly Lies. I wasn't that book. So I was afraid that this was going to be like that. That's why I was worried. I was like, what if I don't like it? And I had the option at one point. I think it's like the first 4 books, they were all together. And I was like, no, I'll just get the one book. Um Now I wish I would have gotten all of that's how it is. I hear that the other ones can be read by themselves, but you should read this one first because you get introduced to all the characters. And like they cross over. I Anyway, okay. Okay. If you read this book, if you like my video so far, give me a thumbs up, okay? Because I'm about to go into spoilers and you might not want spoilers, so you might need to leave. You might need to just thumbs up, pause my video, go down, comment below. Have you read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe or any of the Dream Harbor series? And which one is your favorite so that I know whenever I get to it to be prepared? If you liked my video so far, you should subscribe. If you're not sure if you want to subscribe, you should go and check out the other videos I have on my channel. I make playlists so you can get an idea what videos I Anyway, I have to talk about some spoilers now because I don't know how to not talk about spoilers. Um, I won't talk about all of them. I'll just talk about the ones that were in my journal. Okay? Oh, and maybe a few extras. Okay. Um This book was really good at building tense and building sometimes um okay, now they'd be like making out or whatever, and then a trash can or one of them would hit the horn body. They were not very good at being super sneaky. That's what that part that yeah. But before that, why does my color keep take a bat to whatever's making open? She flings open her door, and there's Logan holding a box of pumpkins, tiny pump boards, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, bring me for Thursday, and she invites him in and tries to not comfort like comfort, but in that like, okay, crazy lady. And it's so funny because he's like, well, you could bring it up to the counselor, and she's like, I can do that. Will you go with me? And he's like, yeah, I'll be there. But she takes it as he's going to help her. And then whenever, all of that happened, she gets up and she gives her little speech. And the mayor does things when he has dreams, and he uses those dreams as predictions for the future. And so he's like, Logan, you will help her take care of Ghost. And help finding out what it wants. And like, it's not like there's no such thing, Ghost. Um, and so, he's like, "Fine, I'll do it," because everyone's like, "Blah, blah, blah." He's just like, and so he shows up at her shop, and she's been preparing, and you hear kind of get back and forth between Jeannie and Logan's side, go back and forth too, and I do have to say that sometimes I feel like they were written mentally younger than they are supposed to be. Um, that's just me. Also, at the same time, I get it because I have also had those random thoughts in my head that I'm like, oh, it's a new year. I've got to be a new person. I'm gonna wear this instead of that. Anyway, so she's trying really hard, and she has like a whole bunch of candy, a whole bunch of chips, cookies, and like a whole layout on a table of foods just for the two for one night. And he gets there and he's like, "What's all this?" And he goes, "Snacks." And he's hungry. And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he goes for the Twizzlers. Um, I love Twizzlers. They're so good. Um, Side note, Halloween, they had little ghost Twizzlers out, and I was like, so cute. Sorry, sorry. Anyway, so they put like 20 questions and whatnot, and they are getting close. And just when close, they're laying on sleeping bag in their bags. But they're getting close. The noise happens that she's been hearing, and he's like, but she jerks around and she looks, and he's like, I heard that too. So then they creep in, and she's like, no, we should call the police. Like, we're not calling the police. It's probably just teenagers. Gotta scare them away. And they hear the noise, like, as they're about to open the door, they hear it again. He pulls the door open. It's a kitten. A little white kitten. Which she names Ghost because it was a ghost. And I thought it was so cute. Lights behind me. Am I lighting weird right now? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Um, Again, I put it's like Gilmore Girls. Everyone is kind of knows everyone. There's a whole bunch of different town things, and someone was trying to scare her away. And when her and Logan had decided that they just not let people know we're in a relationship. It started with there was like a fair. It wasn't the Halloween, not yet. There's like a fair and or a farmer's market. I can't remember. And a storm happened. The and her candy goes flying down, and she goes chasing after it, and after her because bad storm. And it's just really silly. That's when they I like you. So That's the first time they're gonna get together. They sneak to her cafe through the back door and go up to her apartment, and because there's people in the front part, like her store is open, and so her other people, her employees, there you go, are taking care of them. So her and Logan had snuck up. They're like making out and about to take each other's clothes off, and the power goes off. And she's like, "Oh, gotta go down. Power's out." And he's like, "Yeah, right." And so she changes clothes and she goes down, and he snuck out. And uh, I was like, "What? They didn't get to do anything?" And that happened several times. Several times. There's like build up, build up, build up, and nothing. Build up, build up, build up, and nothing. And when it finally does happen, it's a little bit over, in my opinion. Uh, like a whole day overdone. That's just me. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. You might have a different. It was. I mean, and worried before then. Before then, he had been worried the whole time that she was just there as like because a small town is fun, and he had told him because his past big big love. Um, he was in town for I think like a few months, whatever. He fell hard, and he he kind of led him on, I guess, and like serious, and he proposed, and she was like, no, and she went on with her life somewhere else, and he for the majority of the book afraid that Jeannie was gonna also be like that because she city also. And she's like, I own a restaurant in town. I own a store. Like, but why would I leave? And then he's like, well, I saw that there were pictures in her apartment that said like it was for sale, like someone's trying to buy the store from her. It was like circled like how much money she would get, and there was like a smiley face next to it, and so he thought that she put that, and she's like, I drew the smiley face, yes, but I didn't put the rest of that on. Like, um, and even his friends are like, you're an idiot. Why would she, after working her butt off in her shop, in her cafe, even though someone's trying to scare her away, and she's going to all of the events to make friends with all the people here. Like, why would she? And it takes a lot for him to be like, "Oh, I'm stupid." um, and then when you find out who has been trying to scare her, he's trying to scare her away because he's mad that her aunt didn't ask him to go with her or didn't leave the shop. And when he confesses, oh, I'm not going to tell you who several he um but when he confesses like, I'm so sorry, take the money that the expense out of my check. I'm so sorry, the window wasn't supposed to get broken. Of course, he leaves in the middle of like rush hour, but he leaves. And oh my goodness. There's a side love story. Actually, but her aunt comes back to visit, and the guy who was trying to scare her away and her aunt had like always liked each other, but because he worked for her, nothing could happen. either of them come back. He thought he moved on, that she would ask him to go with her. She didn't. Like, the whole time leading up to, like, there was time between, like, she was training, so he could have been like, I quit, I'm coming with you, and like, whatever, but he never did, and she took that as a sign that he didn't like her, and like, there's this whole thing. It's so kind of awkward, but like, they're like teenagers, they're like little kids that are like crushing on each other. It cracked me. And anyway, it was a good book. It was a really good book, and this is a good book to read, like, uh Halloween, fall, like fall, all of fall. I think there's also a Thanksgiving thing. I don't remember. So, you have a Halloween thing, and then you also have the last chapter is the it says tomorrow they would close the cafe and head to New York to spend Thanksgiving with Jeannie's family. So it ends right before Thanksgiving. Um, it was a good book, and I can't wait to read the next book. The Cinnamon Bun Store. I can um I don't know what else to say. It was a good book. Um, I liked I liked the back and forth between inside the two different minds. I liked I liked all of the different characters, and I liked that there was diversity um relationships. I also like that there was like older people and younger people, so that because a small town has all of those. Sometimes they're not portrayed. It was just a fun little book. Not suitable for kids. Not suitable for kids. It's not a YA book. Do not give this book unless you're gonna like somehow redact a whole chapter, 2 chapters. I can't remember. It was a lot of chapters. Okay, finally get twice. Yeah, because they arms off, and then people tell him he's dumb, and his best friends come and they're like, idiot. Uh, the truth, and it sweeps her off her feet and takes her to for a whole day. Point where they're having fun, and her stomach growls, and he goes, when did you eat last? He realizes that it's like 5 o'clock at night, and he scooped her up and took her to his house at like the morning. I don't remember what time. So they're together. Keep that in mind. Cute. This is really old. I have I don't think I have a whole. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's not what this. Um, if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, and comment below. Did you read the book? Are you gonna read this? This book was on my TBR for about a year or two before it got picked, put on my reading challenge. So fun time. And subscribe because subscribe because you don't want to have to wait until I pop up on your For You recommendation section. You're like, oh, well, scroll down your subscribe list until you get to a coffee drinker's review. Yeah. And share this video because sharing is caring, and I need to know who else really look. I feel like it probably could have been better. Like there could have been all like fleshing out of characters. I guess I don't know what it's called. Sometimes it blurs. What is going on? Well, I'll figure it out later. Let me know what you thought of this video. I know I'm crazy. I'm like, what did I say? 3 or 4 cups of coffee. This is a big cup. This is gonna be my the thumbnail. Uh, wait. Okay. Um, sorry guys. I'm just trying to get all the decorations decorated, and I still have to get out of the garage. I'll talk to you later on my next video. Bye!